So yeah, he's wanting to cut to about 77, 78. So like when we're doing a big cut, like how do we ensure like he's still getting enough carbs around his big training days whilst also being in a deficit?
Great question. How do we get ensure carbs on training days to ensure while ensuring his deficit? Okay, I should probably actually teach you guys this more advanced strategy. It's called carb cycling. Are you familiar with it?
I've heard the term, but I don't know what it
Okay,
is.
let me show you a live example in your tracker. What are his
Yep.
calories right now?
Is it 2,600? Oh, 2,500. Sorry. Let me just pull up his nutrition.
How many training days?
Pretty much like 6.
6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And another coach is doing his strength and conditioning, but yeah, I think he's at 6. He's training quite a bit.
Target calories at 2,600. Now, he is dropping down from 80 kilos to 77. Is that right? Does I remember that?
Yep.
Where's he at now?
80 still. So yeah, he's literally just started and cut this week.
All right. So he's only had one deficit drop.
What was that? Sorry, he's only had one deficit drop.
Yeah, meaning
What's that mean?
you've only dropped his calories one time so far.
Oh yeah, yeah.
First of all, dropping his calories once, like typically the first time you drop someone calories, within the first couple of months or at least a month, I wouldn't be concerned about performance decrements.
Okay, cool.
I wouldn't because, well, let me actually keep going. What were his calories? What are his maintenance?
It's not much difference to what he's eating. I think it's a bit close to 3,000, but maybe about 28, 2,900.
Because it's so close, most people won't really notice any difference
Mm.
in performance at such a small change. Where the difference has become larger is when you've had a second or third deficit drop
Yeah.
and the deficit has lasted for a few months or at least 4 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, cool. So it's more of like just attack that when and if we come to it, but
That's
for
right.
now, just stay the course. Cool.
Be in a way, be reactive to it. And then I'll give you an ammunition to deal with it if it comes up
Mm.
for all your clients. So I'm in
Awesome.
your tracker right now, and
And then on that, like, how do we know when performance is being impeded? Like,
yeah,
is it as simple as like him saying, "Hey, mate, I just feel sluggish"?
it is. That's honestly one of the best markers is subjective feedback.
Mm.
You'll also
Are
notice.
there any objective things to look at? Sorry, I'm interrupting
No,
you.
there are. That's a good question. You're already ahead of it, and you would see weight plateauing in his program for a longer period of time than he typically has.
Yeah.
So you ask him, how long do you usually plateau before, on a program, before you need a new program? Let's say he says 2 weeks. If you're noticing his plateauing in half the time, it's like, well, that's not really going to actually make sense half the time. 1 week, you don't know if it's a plateau if it's 1 week. If you notice the plateau is sooner and faster and longer, because you can break through plateaus, you might just need 2 extra weeks of training. If you notice that the objective numbers are not increasing as fast or is plateauing sooner or plateauing for longer, that is what you can look out for.
Cool. Yeah. Um, we ran his sort of micronutrient analysis just through like the nutrition tracker. It was all pretty on point. I made some changes, just included more leafy greens to get him more like folate, and I think there was something else as well that we bumped up with some leafy greens, but like calcium's still lacking.
Yeah.
Um, I know it was in one of our nutrition. It could have been the first one we did, but just may as well ask you here now, like some good ways to sort of bump up calcium without sort of increasing his calories too much. Because like imagine like dairy and all that stuff's pretty calorically dense.
I would look to replace some of his protein sources with calcium-rich protein sources.
Yep.
You got to remember, whey has about 300 milligrams of calcium. I don't know if he's a sardines guy, and or our yogurts are great for filling protein sources, which obviously you
Yep.
can combine with whey. You could use the Rokeberry Farms milks.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're packed full of it. I don't think we're at a place yet that's warranting supplementation or any type of advanced calcium strategy.
No.
But just
And like,
replacement.
and he's having yogurts and would have a Rockaby on training days as well. Actually, I think I just didn't put the Rockaby in the nutrition tracker because it wasn't there, and I think likewise with the yogurt as well. So that's actually probably a good explanation for why his calcium's a bit low.
Yeah, because it just wasn't tracked properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
You got it. I won't add on to what I was going to. We don't need to. But I will.
Yeah.
I will share. So, client comes to you. You want to watch out for performance is decreasing. But usually, our normal setup would be, 7 days a week. So, instead, if a guy's, there's many different setups we can do here, but simply carb cycling. Let's say he's training 6 days a week. Well, one option is, let's say he's more sensitive. Well, let me give you 2,800. Let me give you 400 grams of carbs. But you say, well, if he does that for 6 days, well, yeah, we'll need to adjust. And so on this other day, that's when we'll drop that down. And it'll be dropped down more than on his high days. So you have a high day, 6 high days, and you have 1 low day.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh, is it the same amount of calories? Like, oh, I have to do this math? No. Just look at the calories per kilogram of body weight. That's why we have it. So
yeah, cool.
I go back and I do 7. And all right, that's 2,600. So 2,600 is 33 calories per kilogram. We're over here. You see, it's 36. So I need to drop that low day. I need to drop down. So I just keep dropping it until I hit. And you might think, oh man, calories are getting pretty low here. And you'd be right. However, in more aggressive setups, because we're doing 200 grams of protein.
And so just confirm. So in this second week, where it says the 8th of Jan, we're trying to, where it says calories per kilo of body weight, we're trying to get it the same as the week before, or just like
that's right,
a certain percentage higher.
Yeah, we're trying to get it pretty much the same, right?
Yeah. So then the main is something at the start. So then why wouldn't you just go the exact same? Like, oh yeah, I've got you now. I understand.
Something clicked.
So he's actual target calories are on the left
That's
there,
right.
the 2650. But then you're then breaking that up into
very
cool.
good. Now this is more abnormal typically, but you can fast. Like I've done this before, where when my low day, man, it's my work day, it's my chill day, I'll just fast and I'll have 1 or 2 meals. Your goal here isn't to break this up into 4 meals. However, this is one setup, 6 high, 1 low. This is pretty good right now. He should feel great on those days.
Yep.
However, you don't need that. Look at the types of days, and maybe he has 3 hard days. Then
well that's it as well. Like yes, he's training 6 days a week, but it's like I think only 2 or 3 of them are like, properly hard.
All right. In that case, check this setup out. And I'm matching it. I'm just trying to find and if it goes green, have you gone over the calories? So that's something you can see. All right, so we're pretty much there. So now we have 3 high days at 2,800 and 4 low days at 24.
Yep, that's cool. And because one thing, like he's real obsessed with his wearables, and he's physically active at his job, so he's always getting fixated on I burnt this many calories at work today, so I'm like gonna have some extra stuff. Like I'm trying to say to him, just fuck that off, just eat the same every day. Like how do you hammer that message home?
Yeah, it's belief shifting. That's education. That's I would go on my YouTube, send him some resources on metabolism that I've done. How I say, oh, physical activity is not effective for weight loss. I explain a bit of that. Then Lane Norton's done some good videos on how all wearables are way off. So let me.
Big time. I stopped wearing them.
So instead of there you go. Here. So you could send him this. So instead of you coming at him, you get Dr. Lane Norton with 53,000 views.
Yeah.
Right? And send him that. Say, hey man, I thought you might find this interesting. You can do it indirectly. This is content. This is a post right now for you.
Yep. Awesome.
What's up, guys?
So I'll send that to you, and I would go that route.
Yeah, cool.
Really good case study. You're really concise with your questions, and you listen very well. I have to tell you.
Cool. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Anything else on the case study?
Check my notes. I think that was it.